Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. Good morning. I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with Monday Night Raw, broadcast live last night on the USA Network from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York.
For the thousands in attendance, for the millions watching at home, and for 25 years, we would like to say thank you, and we love you all. Hold on, I gotta catch my breath first. Whew. All right.
I wish you'd have given me that opportunity.
Let's get ready to suck it!
In what was advertised as the season premiere of Raw, D-Generation X members Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Road Dogg, and X-Pac reunited to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the group's founding in 1997. During the segment, which closed out the show, X-Pac made mention of the late Johnny China Lauer, and during his longtime tag team partner Road Dogg's promo, Billy Gunn was also referenced despite currently working for AEW. Earlier in the night, Seth Rollins won the United States title from Bobby Lashley in just 2 minutes and 34 seconds after a curb stomp. In storyline, Lashley was selling injuries just suffered in a surprise attack by a returning Brock Lesnar during an in-ring promo.
And good evening, Bobby Lashley.
Oh, no! He's gonna outside Lashley! Why? What is the meaning of this?
This was the first time Lesnar's been seen on WWE programming since losing to WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns at SummerSlam last July. The title win begins Rollins' second reign as United States Champion. His previous U.S. title win also occurred at the Barclays Center, where he beat John Cena for the belt at SummerSlam 2015. Just prior to DX's segment, the final match of the night saw Matt Riddle defeat Sami Zayn of the Bloodline, pinning him after an RKO. The match had been made during the opening segment of the show after Riddle interrupted an in-ring promo from the Bloodline and challenged Roman Reigns for the Universal title, which Reigns turned down. Also on the show, AJ Styles reunited with his former Bullet Club partners Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, better known in WWE as the OC. After teasing joining Judgment Day, currently led by another former Bullet Club member Finn Balor, Styles instead fought the group off with the help of Gallows and Anderson. The former two-time Raw Tag Team Champions haven't been seen on WWE programming since 2020, when they were cut during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, despite having just signed a 5-year contract extension with the company. More recently, they finished up their time in Impact Wrestling this past August by losing the Impact World Tag Team titles to the Motor City Machine Guns. Gallows and Anderson first arrived in WWE in 2016, jumping ship from New Japan Pro Wrestling, along with Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Currently, Anderson holds New Japan's Never Openweight Championship and is scheduled to defend it against Hikuleo on November 5th in Osaka. At a press conference in Japan this morning to hype his upcoming IWGP World Title match against Kazuchka Okada in January, Bullet Club member Jay White commented on the pair's return to WWE.
First things first, how about we shout out the Good Brothers, huh? Look at those boys. Gallows and Anderson making history as always. I don't think you realize how big of a moment that is, huh? Look at that. You remember a little bit while ago, earlier this year, you can go back and find it. I talked about my vision for Bullet Club and how we're going to take over the world and expand to all the different companies. And, well, would you look at that? We've done just that, just like I envisioned.
Moments before the confrontation with Styles and the OC, the Judgment Day had attacked Rey Mysterio following Mysterio's win over Chad Gable of Alpha Academy. In other Raw results, Johnny Gargano defeated Austin Theory, and Candice LeRae defeated Bayley. LeRae was attacked after the match by Bayley and her Damage Control partners Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair attempted to save LeRae, but also fell victim to the attack. With some ticket sales news, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
Wednesday night's edition of AEW Dynamite at the Coca-Cola Coliseum in Toronto is a virtual sellout, with only 27 tickets remaining out of the 7,070 available, as of the latest WrestleTix report yesterday afternoon. This is AEW's debut in Toronto, with a show headlined by the rubber match between ROH World Champion Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson. The 100-year-old building, originally known as the CNE Coliseum, has been run exclusively by WWE for wrestling since 2011. For the Wrestling News, I'm Lou Kipilman.
In ratings news, AEW's Battle of the Belts 4 special, broadcast live on TNT late Friday night, did the lowest rating of any of the championship-themed specials. Battle of the Belts has experienced a steep and steady drop in numbers with each installment, losing more than half of its audience since the original special at the beginning of the year. Friday night's edition of Battle of the Belts drew 317,000 viewers and a .1 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, according to Showbuzz Daily and WrestleNomics. That's a 27.45% drop in overall viewers and a 16.66% drop in the key demo rating from Battle of the Belts 3 back in August. Battle of the Belts lead-in, Friday night's Rampage live on TNT, drew the show's lowest rating since the taped July 29th Fight for the Fallen episode, bringing in an average of 404,000 viewers according to Showbuzz Daily. That number represents a 14.4% drop from the previous week's 472,000 viewers. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was .13, translating to 170,000 viewers and an 18.75% drop from the previous week's key demo rating of .16, according to WrestleNomics. The episode tied for the show's third lowest key demo rating in 2022 so far. The episode dropped to number 20 for the night on cable in the key demo, down from number 9 the previous week. The show faced stiff competition from the Major League Baseball Wild Card Series game between the San Diego Padres and the New York Mets on ESPN, which came in first in the demo. Last week's episode was also down 19.52% in ratings from the same week last year and plummeted 23.52% in the key demo year over year. Turning the channel, WWE SmackDown held steady for its Extreme Rules Go Home edition last Friday night, drawing 2.243 million viewers live on Fox. That's compared to the 2.207 million drawn the week before, according to Showbuzz Daily. The rating in the 18 to 49 demographic remained the same at .54, and that translated to 704,000 viewers. For the 13th consecutive week, the show came in at number 1 in the key demo for network TV and remained at number 7 in overall viewership. Total viewership was up 4.47% from the same week last year and up 3.84% in the key demo. With some Impact news, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
Mia Yim has finished out her contract with Impact Wrestling and is now a free agent, according to a Fightful Select report. She just had her last match for Impact at Saturday's TV tapings in Albany, New York, and lost to Mickie James at Bound for Glory last Friday night. Yim was on a short-term contract with Impact, having started up with them last May. She previously wrestled for TNA Impact in 2016 and 2017 under the ring name Jade. She was under contract to WWE from 2018 to 2021, after making her company debut in the original Mae Young Classic in 2017. Yim is also married to AEW performer Keith Lee. There is no word on where she might turn up next, but we will keep you posted. For the Wrestling News, I'm Lou Kipilman.
Turning to New Japan Pro Wrestling, Jay White retained the IWGP Heavyweight Championship over Tama Tonga in the main event of New Japan's Declaration of Power event on Monday. Taking place inside Tokyo's Sumo Hall, White made the second defense of the title, pinning Tonga in 31 minutes and 7 seconds after using his Blade Runner finisher. Before the show began, a ceremony was held to honor New Japan's founder Antonio Inoki, who passed away on October 1st. It was announced that the company's largest show of the year, Wrestle Kingdom 17 at the Tokyo Dome on January 4th, will serve as a tribute to the wrestling icon. In the semi-main event of Monday's show, Kazuchka Okada defeated Jonah. This morning at a Wrestle Kingdom press event, White and Okada confronted each other verbally, with White upset that Okada didn't have to defend his title shot that he won during the G1 Climax.
You want those big moments, but this time you stepped back. You stepped away. No pressure. He had nothing to lose. What did I say last night? I think it was Okada the coward. Kazu the coward. Not Rainmaker, the coward. Kazuchika Okada, however you want to put it. Anybody else? And now really, think about this and answer me if you want to, and you can answer me too. If it was anybody else that won the G1, would they have been able to get away with that? No. They would have had to defend that right in that match last night. And especially if it were me, you can guarantee that I would have had to defend that right.
During the same press conference, it was announced that Taiichi Ishimori's next IWGP Junior Heavyweight title defense will be a four-way against Master Wato, Hiromu Takahashi, and El Desperado, also on January 4th. At Monday's Declaration of Power, Wato defeated Ishimori in a non-title match. After it was over, both men were confronted by Takahashi and Desperado, who also demanded title shots. Also on Monday, CMLL's Titan joined the Los Ingobernables faction and helped Tetsuya Naito, Sanada, and Hiromu Takahashi to a victory over Will Ospreay, Aaron Henare, TJP, and Francesco Akira. In the show's opener, Ren Narita returned from his nearly 3-year-long excursion abroad to team with David Finlay and Robbie Eagles in a winning effort over El Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Doki. Narita has been christened with the nickname the Son of Strong Style, and he got the victory by pinning Doki. In other results, Shingo Takagi defended his King of Pro Wrestling trophy over El Phantasmo. Zack Sabre Jr. and Taiichi defeated Bad Dude Tito and Shane Haste. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Hikuleo, and Raisuke Taguchi topped Evil, Yujiro Takahashi, and Sho, and Jeff Cobb and the Great Okan defeated Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. Also, during the very newsworthy Sumo Hall show, New Japan announced the creation of the NJPW World Television Championship. This morning, the company followed up with some more details. The new title will be decided in matches with 15-minute time limits and will be aimed at younger wrestlers who compete in more of a higher speed style. First-round tournament matches take place all this weekend, beginning on Friday. The matches are Yoshinobu Kanemaru against David Finlay, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Alex Zane, Yoshihashi takes on Jeff Cobb, Aaron Henare faces Evil, Taiichi versus Sanada, and Kenta against Hiroki Goto. The other two first-round matches take place on October 26, when Tomohiro Ishii faces Ren Narita, and the Great Okan takes on Toru Yano. The semifinals of the tournament will take place in Osaka on November 5th, with the final taking place during the company's Tokyo Dome event on January 4th. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the wrestling news. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.